Uh, you had a whole phase?
I mean, yeah, like, I was young, dumb, looking for love in all the wrong places, and, that ended up opening my legs, thinking that was the one, you know.
You were, you were promiscuous when you were younger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very promiscuous.
0.9% of people should explore their whole phase. My aunt told me, trust me, you're not going to marry that guy. And my baby daddy, you should go be a hoe. She was like, you have to go to black school because you're around too many white people and you have to go hoe it up. And that's what I did. And I'm happy I got permission. I mean, I would have probably done it either way, but
There's healing in the hoeing. We talk about that in the book. We even had a merch that said, heal first, hoe later.
I didn't have an adult hoe phase. I had a child so young, and then I got married. College was my hoe phase.
Freshman to junior year.
those 3 years were strong.
And then you planned a baby.
I'm retiring.
It wasn't long enough, my hoe phase.
Some just never get the hoe phase at all. What do?
Act like a hoe for your husband. Maybe go to the club and let someone like feel on your booty and then leave.
This is the remedy.
These are your options.
Maybe make out. I don't know.
Don't tell your husband because that's what a real hoe does.
Don't have sex though. It's not going to be worth it.
Calling me from unruly girl, why be? Disrespect we and shot.
Alright, so I was watching this video not too long ago, and the discussion was about when a girl becomes a hoe. So I listened, right? Non-judgmentally, I reserved judgment, and then I went to the comment section to see what others thought about the topic. Now, one man commented that the first time a woman sleeps with a man she doesn't genuinely love, that makes her a hoe. And it's honestly kind of hard to disagree with that. My personal definition is a little bit similar, but I'll say that for me, a couple things define a hoe. Now, my definition is the first time a woman sleeps with a man that she doesn't like, then I'm gonna have to put you in that whole category. Just giving up that snack box to a nigga because of certain factors outside of mutual interest and, attraction to the extent of liking somebody. That's when I'm gonna have to consider a hoe. She might just be sleeping with a man for multiple different reasons. Maybe she's just curious about his sexual prowess. She might just be lonely. She might just be horny. And in a lot of cases, I know of a lot of hoes that became that way because of daddy issues, bro. Just wanting to feel desired and validated by someone, as weird as that may sound. Now, I, for one, don't have a problem with hoes at all, bro. I ain't gonna say I mess with hoes, but I respect them, I just wouldn't take one seriously to the extent of settling down with one and shit like that. At least not on purpose, but I'm cool with hoes, I lost my virginity to a hoe, and I say most of my buckets, if not all of my buckets, have been with hoes, if we're going off of definitions and being technical. So, yeah, what a lot of men fail to realize about hoes is that, they're cool as shit, with the exception of a few bad apples, bro. It's just that the whole factor throws men off and gives most guys the ick. But look at Tiana Trump and Kai Cenat, you know what I mean? She seems cool as hell to just kick it with, get the neck from, get some box from, and send her on her way, bro. She's probably a cool human being. She's just not wifey material, which is cool. Most girls aren't wife material. But as far as whole phases go, actually, before I even say that, I want to say that shit, hoes are sometimes better than good girls, bro. In fact, they might be damn near better, and I might make a video touching on this in the near future. Now, as far as whole phases go, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. There is no such thing. Once a hoe, always a hoe, and this is why. If I murder one man, depending on the justification behind that crime, it may be forgiven under the jurisdiction of the law, but at the end of the day, I'm still a murderer. Now, if I go on a killing spree and I murder 23 people in the span of 4 years on some Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer shit, then I'm a full-blown serial killer, bro. Point blank, period. Simple as that. Because look, humans are creatures of habit and routine. The same way that these serial killers wouldn't have stopped had they not been apprehended is the same way a hoe is not going to stop unless a simp or a sucker grabs and apprehends her. That's why they call it cuffing, my nigga, because you're holding on to someone that wants to be free. You could even say this in the context of a dude that's spent his whole life messing with girls, and then he decides to dabble with men. He messes with a guy or two. Bro, you're gay at that point. It's not, oh, I was just experimenting. Nah, you did what you did. The dirt has already been done. You've already identified that you're a gay male, you know? I actually saw this thing with Mia Khalifa. She's reverting back to doing porn after years of being a sports analyst and being retired from the porn star industry. And it's not surprising to me at all, because deep down, that's probably what she's been itching to do since the day she stopped. There is nothing about getting pumped and dumped by a multitude of niggas that screams phase to me, bro. That's just who you are. Now, scientifically, right? Even if a hoe tries to settle down, she'll be incapable because she's destroyed her ability to pair bond. Now, what is pair bonding? Pair bonding is basically you becoming one with your partner in the sense of, you know, the chemistry just building, you guys getting along better and stuff like that. Pair bonding is just how well you guys go together, if that makes sense. That's not really the scientific definition, but, you know, I'm not a scientist. That's just what I remember off the top of my head. If you want to learn more about it, look it up. But pair bonding is basically your ability to stay loyal to one partner or get along well with one partner. But this goes for both men and women. I'm not just going to say women suffer from this, but the more buckets you get in your career, the harder it is going to be for you to pair bond. That's why a lot of players end up cheating on their spouses, and this is why a lot of hoes end up cheating on their spouses. You know what I mean? You just been through so much that you're not going to be used to settling down with one person. Your brain is not going to let you at a certain point. So, yeah, you know, hoes, I got no problem with them. I wouldn't cuff one, at least knowingly I wouldn't cuff one. Hoe phases don't exist. Once a hoe, always a hoe. That's all I gotta say about that topic, though. More content on the way. I got some more game for y'all. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Until next time. Alright, so I had to spin back real quick, right? I didn't really like how ignorant I sounded in trying to describe what pair bonding was from a scientific viewpoint. But pair bonding, by definition, is essentially the strong affinity that develops in some species between a mating pair, often leading to the production and rearing of young and potentially a lifelong bond. So pair bonding is essentially the connection that forms between two people. And it's supposed to be lifelong. Well, not even two people, but two, you know, of anything. It could be two grasshoppers, two lions, and shit like that. It's basically the connection that you guys form. Now, if I sleep with 1,000 women, then there's not going to be an ability for me to pair bond. It's basically like Velcro, bro. You rub Velcro together too long, it's going to be harder to stick and connect. So that's essentially what it is, you know. That's why if a woman sleeps with too many men, she's damaged goods in a relationship sense, because she's been through so many men that you can't really reel her in like you want to, you know what I mean? Her brain has been through too many situations, too many scenarios, too many different types of men, and too many sexual experiences, bro. It's just not possible at a certain point for, you know, a woman to connect with a certain man, or even a man to connect with a certain woman once they've seen so much. In my personal opinion, I say after 10 bodies, you probably get to that point where you can't really pair bond as a woman. I feel like for men, it's essentially higher, because men, when we have sex, it's not always emotional. For women, I guess it's not always emotional as well, but if you're a woman, why are you having sex if it's not, you know, emotional and with some type of connection? So, yeah, that's what pair bonding is, you know. It's just the affinity that develops between two people, and the purpose of it is to form a lifelong bond. I feel like pair bonding is essentially dead in the social media age, because now you can cheat more easily. You can see what you're missing out on more easily. You can get chosen on more easily. It's just all bad, bro. But, you know, there's some hope. That's all I really got to say, though. New videos coming soon.